Humans will always be curious about whether or not we have galactic neighbors, and if they would be our friends or foes. Maybe the answers are in the stars, or in secret government files. Until we know the truth, we have some great movies on Netflix about alien visitors. Minor spoilers ahead. Have you ever had a nightmare that comes true? If so, you might be intrigued by the premise of the film Extinction. That's exactly what happens to Peter, who begins having bad dreams about an invading force that comes to Earth, threatening the safety of his family and everything he holds dear. Little does he know that these disturbing nightmares would actually turn out to be premonitions. When he visits a psychiatrist to get to the root of these dreams, he encounters another patient who's been suffering from the same night terrors, and he begins to wonder if there is something bigger going on.
What if something bad is coming? And this is like a sign.
Unfortunately, Peter's suspicions prove to be correct. One night, spaceships suddenly descend upon the city and attack. Peter and his wife manage to snag a weapon from one of the invading soldiers, and Peter utilizes the knowledge from his visions to protect his family. But his understanding of what's actually happening can only get them so far. Peter is about to discover that he was receiving these visions for a reason, and when he finds out why, the knowledge turns his life upside down. A road trip with friends goes very, very wrong in the signal. 3 MIT students, Jonah, Nick, and Haley, are driving all the way across the United States. Haley is relocating to California, and the guys are coming along to help out with the move. Nick worries that Haley's new life will complicate his relationship with her. However, all of these troubles will soon fade into the background when the trio is faced with a much more dire threat. As the 3 friends settle into their hotel room for the night, they discover that a hacker named Nomad has been tracking them and found their location. This isn't their first run-in with the hacker. Nomad almost got them expelled back at MIT when they were accessing the school's private servers. Nick and Jonah decide to get back at Nomad by tracking the hacker's location and heading to the abandoned house where he is supposedly hiding out. When they arrive, they find nothing, but when Haley is suddenly pulled into the sky, it becomes obvious that the group has stumbled into something they never could have imagined. Now it's up to Nick to make sense of their strange new surroundings and save the woman he loves. In Revolt, an American Special Forces soldier wakes up in a jail cell with no clear idea of who he really is. After being knocked out in a battle against invading robotic machines that have taken over the world, he's developed amnesia. Another prisoner, Nadia, gives him the nickname Bo and tries to help him fill in the blanks. She's a former French aid doctor and explains that the 2 of them were captured by a criminal gang and have been kept as prisoners ever since. Nadia also informs him about otherworldly attackers.
You don't remember the invasion?
Who's invading?
Not who. What?
Although Bo doesn't remember much about his encounter with these futuristic machines, he discovers that the incident left him with a special ability. He can absorb and discharge electricity. Nadia and Bo escape together and decide to take their chances in the outside world. Their plan is to make their way to Bo's former military base in Nairobi, where he was serving prior to his capture. But the machines have already wiped out every major city on the planet, and their journey to the base will be more dangerous than any human warfare they've ever experienced. A sequel to 2010's Skyline, which followed survivors of an alien invasion of Los Angeles, Beyond Skyline explores another story taking place at the same time as the original movie. In this film, Los Angeles police detective Mark Corley helps his son Trent get out of jail just as the invasion begins. Mark and Trent are estranged, but Mark couldn't stand to leave his son behind. As most of the residents of LA are sucked up into various spaceships by huge beams of light, Mark leads a group of stray survivors through the subway tunnels to the marina, hoping to escape somewhere safe. But of course, their plan doesn't work out the way they had hoped. When they finally make it to the marina, they're captured by the alien flagship, and that's when the real adventure begins. What's actually happening inside these ships, and what do these creatures want from human beings? Mark is about to stumble on some truly disturbing answers. If you're watching a film that involves aliens and you see bright lights appear in the sky, it usually indicates that someone is about to be abducted. At first, Light takes a different approach to this trope. When Alex leaves a bonfire party with a guy she's interested in, they walk through the woods to a nearby lake to spend some time alone. The next thing she knows, bright lights appear over her as she floats helplessly in the water. When she regains consciousness, she's walking down a country road with no idea what happened to her. Alex wasn't abducted, but something about her has changed. She'll soon realize that she's gained the ability to move objects with her mind. After finding a ride back into town, she calls up her friend Sean, who also happens to have a crush on her. Alex experiments with her newfound abilities, and Sean stays by her side, even when the authorities start tracking her down. With some similarities to Stranger Things, fans of the popular Netflix series will definitely want to check out At First Light. With cell phones and cameras being such a big part of our lives these days, what would happen if aliens were to attack Earth? Chances are, the invasion would be caught on film by pretty much everybody. That's the basic concept explored in The Darkest Dawn, which is a sequel to the 2014 found footage film Hungerford. When Chloe is given a video camera on her 16th birthday, her first videos featuring her family are funny and lighthearted. That is, until the world as she knows it comes crashing down when an alien invasion begins in Europe. Things become even more confusing and gruesome when Chloe realizes that the aliens are taking over the bodies of human beings. Through it all, she documents her experiences and keeps a video journal for her missing mother.
I'm gonna show you how strong your daughter can be.
As chaos and violence erupts around her, Chloe's main goal is to protect her sister and, if possible, find a place where they can finally be safe. Scarlett Johansson stars as a beautiful and terrifying alien life form in Under the Skin. In fact, she wears her human disguise so well that men can't help but be seduced by her. She travels around Scotland, managing to pick up one man after another. But she's not looking for love. As she leads guys into an abandoned home, it becomes clear that she's some sort of predator. To her, men are nothing but prey. And to make things even scarier, she's not working alone. Under the Skin is definitely not your usual alien flick. It's the kind of brilliant film that you might see in an art house theater, and there are moments that will make your skin crawl. The cinematography is somehow gorgeous and unsettling at the same time, and Johansson's performance is eerie and enthralling. The film explores the question of what it really means to be human, and that's what makes it stand out among the genre. Why did NASA really cancel the Apollo 18 mission to the moon? The found footage film Apollo 18 suggests an alternate theory. Maybe it wasn't canceled after all. Maybe the astronauts really did go up to the moon on a top-secret mission that was hidden from the public, and this is the lost footage from that ill-fated journey. It's December of 1973, and the crew of Apollo 18 has just found out they will actually be working on a secret project for the Department of Defense. Their voyage to the moon will be disguised as a satellite launch, and the public will never know that they left the Earth's atmosphere. But when the crew finally lands on the moon, they begin hearing strange noises outside of their module. And when they stumble across the body of a long-lost Soviet cosmonaut, they're more than ready to head home. But the moon might not be so lifeless after all, and these unlucky astronauts could end up staying a lot longer than they bargained for. In the Australian sci-fi film Occupation, a small town in the outback comes under attack from an unknown alien force. A group of civilians makes it their mission to band together and avoid being captured by their attackers. Matt and his girlfriend Amelia both work hard at their jobs and make just enough to get by in their rural community. The highlight of Matt's week is always the weekend football game, where he gets to face off against his local rival Jackson. But out of the blue, their usual game is interrupted by an alien invasion, and the group flees into the woods, grabbing as many of their neighbors as they can. Once they arrive at a somewhat safe hideaway, the frightened and confused collective must learn how to live and work with one another. In addition to Matt and Amelia, the group includes a pregnant nurse, an ex-con, and a farmer who knows the land like the back of his hand. After discovering a possible weakness in the invaders, they begin training themselves to fight back.
What's the plan?
Cause a distraction, break your people out, and save the planet. That's the plan.
However, with violent aliens everywhere, the basic question is, can this ragtag team adapt, survive, and defeat a highly advanced and seemingly unstoppable enemy? Cloverfield is probably one of the best-known found footage films about an alien invasion. In this 2008 movie, HUD is helping to set up a surprise party for his friend Rob. He's handed a camera so he can film everyone giving testimonials and wishing Rob good luck on his upcoming move from New York City to Japan. During the party, Rob becomes upset when his ex-girlfriend Beth shows up with another guy, so he goes out on the fire escape to get some air. As Rob's brother and HUD try to cheer him up, the building is rocked by what seems to be an earthquake.
Forget the world and hang on to the people that you care about the most.
Oh my God! What the hell was that?
The partygoers head outside to investigate, and HUD captures the subsequent catastrophe on film. The Statue of Liberty's severed head rolls down the street as panic breaks out. everyone soon discovers that an enormous monster is loose in the city and destroying everything in its path. Plus, smaller parasitic creatures are leaping off the monster's body to attack anyone within striking distance. Soon, Rob, Hud, and their friends are on a mission to save Beth and escape New York City. However, the gigantic monster has some plans of its own. It definitely seems like most alien movies predict tragic consequences if Earth ever gets a visit from extraterrestrials, but that doesn't mean an alien invasion flick can't be funny. In the sci-fi comedy Evolution, a group of scientists researches microscopic alien life that came to Earth when a meteor crashed in the Arizona desert. To the untrained eye, the findings from their samples might seem unremarkable. After all, they're only looking at simple organisms. But as college professors Ira and Harry soon discover, these organisms are multiplying so rapidly that they begin evolving into more advanced life forms overnight. When the government catches wind of what's going on, the army bans Ira and Harry from the crash site. Other scientists steal all of their research and samples, forcing Ira and Harry to take matters into their own hands. When they finally manage to break in, they discover that the lab is bursting with new life forms. And with aliens escaping to the outside world, they decide to find the creatures before it's too late. Of course, since this is a comedy, Ira, Harry, and their newfound associates have plenty of unexpected and entertaining adventures as they do their best to save the world. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Looper videos about movies on Netflix are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.